Alright, welcome back to New Zealand. If you made it to the end of my last video, you got to see this spot. This is Red Rocks on the south coast of Wellington, which is at the bottom of the North Island of New Zealand. It has a Maori name too, but I probably can't pronounce it right. Parifero? Yeah, I'm not going to try again. It means Red Rocks. Anyway, I decided to come back with the Zero DSR to do one last epic off-road ride before I put the belt back on. And I've always been curious what was beyond the Devil's Gate. It takes seriously like 2 hours to walk out there, but now I have a vehicle that can explore a little bit further, so I had to try it. Get ready for another off-road adventure on an electric motorcycle. Okay, let's go. I bid farewell to the biker chicks and hit the dirt. Unfortunately, the wind sounded like this, so I'm stuck narrating. But here's some music, and how about some super cinematic widescreen? Right off the bat, a water crossing. I think they put this here on purpose, to warn you. Like, if you can't handle this, don't even think about what comes next. Because it got way harder. I started off slow, I'm still new to this whole off-road riding thing. Also, I don't have knobby tires, and the DSR is really heavy. And other excuses. But you guys gave me a lot of good advice in my last off-road riding video. I tried to stand up as much as I could to lower the center of gravity. And it didn't take very long to get the hang of it. It hadn't rained in a few days, but there were still some muddy puddles to avoid. Eventually I got over my fear of them, and even splashed in them on purpose like a kid on a bicycle. But this was all new territory to me, so I had to be careful. I passed quite a few casual hikers who seemed to appreciate my quiet bike. Whenever I ride Zeros around people, I feel like I'm from the future. It doesn't matter if it's in the city, at the racetrack, or off-road. There's a good chance these people were experiencing an electric motorcycle for the first time, and it's exciting for me to be the one riding it, even if I was riding super slow. At one point, the dirt turned into sand, and I almost dropped it. Oh, ABS is nice. Wow, that sand was pretty rough. Whew. Hopefully there's not much of that left. The further I rode, the more freaky it got. The path was less maintained, and the rocks started getting bigger. These were really big rocks, so I just crawled through this part. I knew dropping the bike was a risk going into this, but I wasn't ready to do that yet. Not yet. The wind also picked up and I got blasted with sand and water. Wow, that was brutal. I tried to keep standing on the pegs as much as I could, but it was exhausting. It was like a workout. Every little bump shook my arms and legs, and it felt like I was at the gym. I've never sweat so much while riding a motorcycle. Wow. My mirror was having a hard time too. I tried my best to stay loose. If there are any animators watching this, IK hands. That helped a lot. Alright, time for a photo. Okay, this one's a little deep. My boots were waterproof, so it wasn't really a big deal, but you never really know how deep it is until you go in. And you never know how slippery it's gonna be. Gotta stop for another photo. Just look at those rocks. Just a few more turns and I was at the Devil's Gate. It took me way longer to get out here than it should have, but I was just going slow, just making sure I didn't crash or something. Somehow I remembered the entrance not being this steep. It's like 3 meters tall, or like 10 feet, and really rocky. It was way too steep for me and too slippery, and the incline was way too abrupt. If I had more skills, I might have tried it, but this also wasn't the bike for this. But I know you guys are curious to see what's on the other side of it, so here's what it looks like. Yeah, it's super steep going down too. Even if I made it over, I don't know if I'd be able to make it back. As bummed as I was that I couldn't keep exploring, I still felt like making it this far was a huge achievement. All the more reason to come back and try it again. Then I spent the next 10 minutes trying to turn the bike around, and it was time to head back. From here on out, I was going back over the same terrain, so I was way more comfortable and felt like going a little bit faster. But it was still freaky. Here you can see I'm kind of cheating, but you guys saw how deep that water was. Also, I really wanted to ride on this bridge. The only other biker I ran into was this girl on a proper dirt bike, going proper fast. It was at this moment where I wished I had an Alta or a Surong. I stopped a few more times to take photos in cool spots, like this one. I had to get a photo of the bike with the red rocks. Like I said, I'm new to this whole off-road riding thing, and every time I hopped back on the bike, I felt anxious. It was kind of like going skydiving. Jumping out of the plane is pretty scary, but once you're flying, it's awesome. I think it's because you go from feeling planted and stable with your boots on the ground to just floating, sliding all over the place. But after I got rolling, it only took a few seconds. I was back in the groove, and it was so much fun. Just a little bit faster. Suddenly the DSR was feeling really stable, and I got way more comfortable at higher speed. It still wasn't Baja 1000 speed, but I was pretty satisfied with myself. And here is one of the coolest shots of the day. See if you can spot the rainbow before I get attacked by the wind. That really sums up my battle with the elements on this ride. From river crossings to rocks to sands to strong gusts of wind, everything was out to get me. But I'm not gonna lie, it was a blast. And I seriously want a lightweight electric dirt bike now. This place is like a playground, and it's only 15 minutes away from me. Unfortunately, not long after this, the 360 died, and I thought the GoPro was on, but it wasn't. Total motovlogging amateur hour. But at least I can say I made it back without a scratch. I didn't crash, didn't drop the bike, and the Zero DSR lives up to its name. So dirty. What an awesome way to spend a Tuesday night. And now I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Tacos. Tacos are great. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.